TCGs, or trading card games, harbor many factors that are appealing to players and collectors alike. Collections are a pillar in the community of card games such as Yu-Gi-Oh!, with some duelists spending thousands on cards that are the shiniest, most nostalgic, most meta-defining, or most unique. But for every good card that comes out in a set that fits these descriptions, there are hundreds of cards in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Extended card universe that don't rise to the fame level of worth collecting. Some give them away, some keep them forever, but as long as you're a duelist who opens any form of sealed product, you probably have some form of this lying around. The top level of any duelist virginity bookshelf is reserved for the cream of the crop, the pinnacle of shiny cardboard. But we're not going to discuss that in today's video. I want to focus on the bottom shelf, the under the couch, bed, fridge, you name it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Bulk, the unsung hero of any duelist's collection. Opening sealed product can often be equated to a lottery of sorts. There is always a chance to pull great cards that you actually want, but there's also a larger chance that you'll pull cards you don't. Besides limiting the likelihood of certain rarities appearing in sets, the addition of allowing certain cards to be said specific rarities allows Konami to sell more product. No one is begging to pull the latest Shark support, yet those Starlight rares, Yu-Gi-Oh! Players would sacrifice their firstborn to get one. Players will open up tons of product to either max rarity their decks, pull hard to get cards, or even the most innocent of all, escape the fleeting downfall of society and for a brief sweet moment feel the sweet release of adult life through the opening of a product that brings you back to the good old days when life was simple and stress was merely a concept instead of a constant in your life. AKA open packs for fun. But what's a duelist to do with all of those hundreds and eventually thousands of useless commons, rares, and super rares that they don't use in their decks nor have a place for in their collections? Players take their 30 copies of Egotistical Ape and stuff them in a box to stay there until quarantine makes them feel inventive enough to make a whole series out of using them. But what can a player really do with this bulk? Surely you don't have to be a successful and inventive Yu-Gi tuber to find a use for them. For starters, something that a lot of players do when they don't have the space for these cards that are useless to them is to simply sell them. Card shops, both brick and mortar and online, often buy bulk, where they have going rates of a certain value per card and a certain rarity. Though at first glance this seems like GameStop level margins, often paying at most a few pennies per common, the amount of time spent searching through said bulk as well as the potential to only have cards worth a few pennies anyways, results in buying and selling bulk to not yield much profit, but profit nonetheless. Another thing people can do with their bulk is to sell it straight to other players as opposed to stores. This varies in degrees of scumminess, with sellers on eBay and Amazon often claiming there's a chance to pull a ghost rare in this lot that turns out to be another 30 copies of Egotistical Ape. Profit margins are a lot better, but mystery lots are never my cup of tea, so I tend to steer clear of them. Between scaling, searching through bulk, and making empty promises, unless I'm buying a specific single or it has that glorious seal of Konami satisfaction, I don't mess around with it. The final thing you can do with bulk, and I will say this is my personal favorite and my girlfriend's least favorite option, is to keep it. There are many benefits to keeping Yu-Gi-Oh! Bulk, with both profit and pleasure being the two biggest. Due to the lack of set rotation in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And to the hand-picked nature of the reprinted cards, sometimes the most obscure, bad common cards are often just actually ahead of their time. It just takes one weird interaction to occur between a newer and older card for that older singular print card to skyrocket in price. Not only are you able to have the wondrous time to look through some of the most obscure and poor designed cards in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh!, but through searching and getting these cards that sometimes seep into relevance, you're able to enjoy the collection aspect of Yu-Gi-Oh! In its rawest, most terrible form. Yu-Gi-Oh! Bulk is something special for sure. It is literally a byproduct of what many players naturally do, which is search for the cards they actually want. Many players don't even mean to keep this collection of misfit cards, for these piles of throwaways often arise from being too lazy to do anything else with them. Regardless of how or why you have any bulk cards lying around, just know that they deserve the respect that they are often not given. All cards are usable in one form or another. You can start a fire if you're cold, make a fan if you're hot, make a nice meal whenever you're hungry, or make a great friend whenever you're feeling just a little bit lonely. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like what you see, there should be some cards on the screen that'll send you to other videos similar to this. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm JC Theater Yu-Gi-Oh! And please, please, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya!